Ah, hello there. What a pleasant surprise to find you here so late. Burning the midnight oil, are we? Forgive me. I didn't mean to startle you. You look so focused. Quite admirable, I must say. Not many students show such dedication outside of lecture hours. A rare quality indeed. Here, I believe you dropped these. I'd hate for all that hard work to scatter into the night. You wouldn't want the wind taking your brilliance away now, would you? I must say, I seem to run into you more than I do my own shadow. It's almost as if fate has its own design. Or perhaps it's just that I have a knack for noticing you amidst the crowd. And yet you always seem surprised when I speak to you. Tell me, do I come across as unapproachable? I'd like to think I'm not so intimidating outside the lecture halls. Oh, don't worry, I'm quite harmless. Most of the time. But either way, may I offer you some advice? It's not safe to be wandering around campus at these hours. The night holds secrets, mysteries, some of them harmless, others, well, let's just say I'd rather not imagine you in harm's way. Oh, your phone. I believe it's buzzing. You might want to check on that. Careless, aren't we? Here, let me. Interesting lock screen. A quote. To be loved deeply gives you strength. Loving deep gives you courage. A sentiment I resonate with. Tell me, do you believe in that? That love can make you stronger? Oh, I see I've caught you off guard. My apologies. I tend to wax philosophy when the moon is high. It is indeed a curse of mine. Or perhaps a blessing sometimes, depending on who you ask. It's late, too late for a dedicated student like you to be out and about. Let me walk you back to your dorm. Please, I insist. It's no trouble at all. Well, independent, aren't we? Admirable, truly, but I would indeed feel much better knowing you've made it back safely. You see, there's a selfish part of me that enjoys these little conversations we have. I wouldn't want anything to interrupt them. Do you know, miss, that you have a rather unique presence? It's not something I say lightly. Most students drift through their lives unnoticed, blending into the background, but you have a way of standing out, even when you don't mean to. My, aren't you the humble one? I guess you're just full of surprises. I wonder, do you ever stop to realize how extraordinary you are? Or does it elude you? Like so many other fleeting emotions. I see. Well, unfortunately, this is where I must leave you, my dear. I'll trust you to take care of yourself from here, but if you allow me one final piece of advice, stay away from the shadows tonight. Some beings prefer the cover of darkness. They're not as considerate as I am. That concludes today's lecture, everyone. Remember your essays on the dynamics of literature symbolism are due next week. No exceptions. Have a good evening, everyone. Excuse me, miss. A moment of your time if you don't mind. Well, it's just you left this behind last night. Your phone. I noticed it as I was locking up the hole. It's not often I get to play the role of the lost and found, though I must admit it gave me an interesting glimpse into your world. Relax, I didn't snoop too much. Just a passing glance at the lock screen, really. But I'd like to discuss something further if you're not too much of a rush. Would you perhaps like to join me in my office? Please have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. I'll try not to keep you too long. Do you ever feel like some things in life are meant to happen? As if the universe conspires to align certain moments, certain people, almost feeling like a canon event? Ah, forgive me. I tend to philosophize when the mood strikes, but you intrigue me, miss. Your insight in class, it's always refreshing, different, and now I see glimpses of that same uniqueness outside the lecture halls. I'd like to understand you better if you'd allow me. I assure you it's purely academic. For now, anyways. What? No, I didn't say anything. Tell me, are you close with your classmates, with anyone, really? I see. It's curious, isn't it? How connections shape who we are, and yet they can be so fleeting and fragile. I couldn't help but notice you've been spending time with someone. A particular someone. Oh, no need to be coy, my dear. I saw the messages on your phone. Meet me after class. Looking forward to tonight. He's quite a bold one, isn't he? I'll give him that. But reckless, careless. Why did I look at your phone? Well, there was something I needed to confirm. How did I get your password? My dear, there's nothing about you I don't know. No, don't worry, I'm not angry. Just concerned. You're remarkable, miss. Far too remarkable to waste your time on someone who couldn't possibly understand your worth. Do you know what I see when I look at you? Potential. A brilliance that outshines everyone else in that lecture hall, and yet you distracted yourself pulling away, pulling towards trivial, fleeting things. I'm not here to judge you, only to protect, to guide. You deserve someone who sees you for who you truly are, someone who would cherish every facet of yourself. I wonder, has he ever looked at you the way I do now? Does he notice the little things, the way your lips curve when you're focused, the lights in your eyes when you're passionate about something? I doubt it. He can't. I highly doubt anyone else could. Oh, sorry. I seem to have lost track of time. It seems I should be preparing for my next class. Do you think you could perhaps meet me here later tonight? In my office, of course. I think there's an opportunity I'd rather like to discuss with you. Splendid. And I'll see you then. Ah, come in, please. Close the door behind you. I've been expecting you. Take a seat. I hope you don't mind the late hour, but I find the quiets of night much more conducive to meaningful conversations. You seemed distracted earlier. Is everything all right? You can be honest with me. After all, I'm here to help. Ah, you're too modest as always, but I've noticed something, a pattern, if you will. You've been avoiding certain topics, certain people. For instance, this individual you've been speaking with, I couldn't help but notice they seem to have sent a lot more messages. Oh, don't look so shocked. It wasn't difficult to piece together your phone. I mean, it's practically an open book. And I am quite adept at reading between the lines. Tell me, do you trust them? Do you truly believe they have your best interest at heart? Interesting. But let me ask you this. Have they ever gone out of their way for you, sacrificed for you? Or are they simply convenient? Because I would. I would go to the ends of the earth for you, and yet you're wasting your time on someone who will never truly see you. Somebody who is not worthy of you. Do you know what it's like watching someone you care about taken for granted? It's maddening. But you don't see it, do you? You're too kind, too trusting. I've seen the way they look at you. They don't deserve you. They don't even understand you, but I do. I've studied you, miss. Every word, every gesture, I know you better than anyone else ever could. Don't go denying it, dear. I'm assuming you feel it too, don't you? This connection between us, it's undeniable. You're drawn to me just as I am to you. Why do you resist? Are you afraid? Afraid of what it means to truly be cherished, darling? You don't have to be. I would never hurt you, never. All I want is to protect you, to keep you safe, to keep you close. That's not possible as long as you let these distractions cloud your judgment. They're a danger to you, to us. Can't you see that? Enough. I've been patient. I've tried to reason with you, to show you the truth, but you're too stubborn, too blind perhaps. I think that you need a little clarity, my darling. Look at me. Look into my eyes and tell me you don't feel it. Tell me you don't belong to me. You can't, can you? Because deep down you know the truth. You're mine. You've always been mine, darling. And I'll do whatever it takes to make you see it, to make you understand, even if it means removing every obstacle in our way. You can fight it if you wish, but it won't change anything. I've already decided you belong to me, and soon you'll realize it too. Do you feel it? The tension between us, it's undeniable, like a string stretched taut, pulling us together. No matter how you resist, it always snaps back to me. That's right, darling. Look into my eyes. Feel yourself drifting away. There's no need for words. Words are so clumsy, don't you think? They can never fully capture what's happening right now between us. Look at me. That's it. Just keep looking at my eyes. Don't look away. Good. Darling, you're so trusting. Even now, when you're afraid, you still can't bring yourself to pull away. I wonder, is it fear that keeps you rooted here or something else? Your pulse, it's racing, isn't it? Like a melody, quick and unsteady, but oh so intoxicating. Can you feel it, the way it thrums under my touch? Do you know what it does to me to be this close to you? To hear your heartbeat pitter-patter over and over, so wild and vulnerable. It's exhilarating, darling. You don't have to fight it, not anymore. Let go of that fear. Let go, darling. Let me show you what it means to truly surrender, to feel something beyond anything you've ever known. You're trembling, but you're not pulling away. You want me, darling? You trust me? Or is it something deeper, a part of you that's always known this moment was inevitable? There, perfect, just stay still. Don't move. Do you feel that? The warmth of my breath against your skin? The way the air seems heavier now, charged with something unspoken? It's because this moment is sacred, my dear. You and I, we were meant to find each other, to share this bond. Close your eyes. Yes, that's it. Let the world fade away. There's nothing else but this. Just you and me together forever. This might sting, but only for a moment, my dear. Ah, perfect, your blood. It's unlike anything I've ever tasted, sweet. Pure, completely and utterly you. That's it, just relax. Listen to my voice as you drift away, feeling the blood pumping from your neck. Feel your heartbeat. Let it consume you, let me consume you. There's no going back now. Look at you, radiant, perfect. I've never seen anything so beautiful, and now you're so much more than you ever were. Strong, eternal. You're mine now, bound to me in blood and soul. Oh, darling, in return I'll give you everything. Power, protection, love you'll never want for anything, my darling. Together we'll walk the shadows and rule the night, and no one will ever come between us. Welcome to my eternity, love. Or should I say, our eternity. You caught me at a rather inconvenient time, didn't you? Don't mind the mess, just wrapping up some business. I wouldn't want any distractions when I'm telling you my stories. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the realms of fable frequencies. Every tale, every whisper, and every dark secret is brought to life by you, my cherished listeners. If you enjoyed this story, do leave a like and subscribe. After all, there are many more tales, some perhaps better left untold. For those brave enough to venture deeper, you'll find donation links and my Twitter in the description below. Gain early access to future videos by joining the channel memberships. And if you crave something darker, consider subscribing to my Patreon, where exclusive spicy audios await those daring enough to listen. Until next time, dear listener, may the frequencies guide you, and may the fables find you. I'll be waiting in the shadows of the next story.